From Mediaite, viral video of Don Jr. arguing America should have been sending weapons to Russia is fake. We know it's coming. It's happening. They say the video, which has been shared by a number of large follower accounts on X, supposedly showed the president's son interacting with an unknown interlocutor who remarks, but they forget that Ukraine isn't the kind of country you go all in on. This is ridiculous. And the fake audio, he said, I honestly can't imagine anyone in their right mind picking Ukraine as an ally when Russia is the other option. I mean, just think about it. Massive nuclear power loaded with natural resources everyone needs. Literally the biggest country on the planet. And there's Ukraine, which has Chernobyl and some radiation-proof dogs. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is like, oh yeah, this is definitely the ally we need. Let's dump all our money into them. Honestly, if anything, the U.S. should have been, I'm not going to go on to say it because they're going to pull some clips, but in the fake AI video, Don Jr. advocates sending weapons to Russia. The alleged comments went viral on social media and were promoted by a number of prominent accounts, including Fact Post, which is run by the Democratic National Committee. The DNC was running fake AI audio of Trump Jr. Now, here's what's so devious. This is exactly what I warned about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People were saying this early on. Oh, they're going to make AI videos where it's like, Trump kicking a dog. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're going to make an AI video of Donald Trump giving a press conference. They're going to take a video of Trump at his press conference where he says, he's going to say, there were very fine people on both sides, and I am not talking about the neo-Nazis or white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. They're going to take that video. They're going to change, they should be condemned totally too, and some of them. So Trump will go, because, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or white nationalists because some of them should be condemned totally. They're going to alter the tiniest of words.
Yes.
And what's going to happen then is, when the video goes viral, no one will know which one was the real one. The fact checkers won't be able to tell you. They'll say, well, Trump did give a press conference. He was there. And this video's gone viral across the board. You might get some outlets being like, we were there. We saw. He didn't say that. But then all it's going to take is some Democrat to come out and be like, BS, I was there. Lying. This is what he actually said. And the reason why that's so nefarious, what Democrats will say is, you'll go to them and go, he said that neo-Nazis should be condemned totally, which is literally what he said. And they'll go, no, he said some of them because he was defending the ones that were there. The changing of the context. So with this fake video that went viral, Don Jr. never said it. But it's not audio of Don Jr. talking about cheating on his wife or girlfriend or beating his children or kicking dogs. It's an off-the-cuff comment to deride Ukraine where he facetiously says, we should have just been giving Russia the weapons. What they're trying to do is strike at his reputation and make it look like he's deferential to Russia in a way that's plausible, using fake audio, and it largely worked. The DNC's Fact Post was sharing this. This is just the beginning. It's going to get substantially worse with AI, and people don't realize that. I was just talking before we started the segment, for those that are just tuning in, a couple of years ago, the AI photos and videos and audio that was being made was miserably bad. I remember when a research team published the first ever Joe Rogan voice clone app. And we talked about it on the show. They took it down and said, we don't want people cloning Joe Rogan's voice. There is now an app, 11 Labs it's called, where you can clone literally any voice in 10 seconds.
You can turn your own voice into a song. You can do all this stuff. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Suno is crazy. You can take a song and then record your voice, and then it'll turn you into the singer.
Yes. Yeah.
You can be like, I want Stairway to Heaven, but me singing it, and it will do it. That's how crazy things are getting. In the next year, it is going to be exponentially more powerful. A year from that, I've been saying this, we're going to get to the point where you load up Netflix. There's no movies anymore. No movies, no shows. What it's going to be is user-generated libraries, and there's going to be popular ones with thumbs up. Someone's going to load up their Netflix and say, Netflix, give me a movie where the Incredible Hulk is in a beauty pageant, and it's very funny and silly considering his rage problems. And then it'll be like generating, and then it'll make the movie. You'll watch it, and then you'll be like, I thought it was okay. Someone who follows you will be like, I'm going to watch what he generated. That was hilarious. Thumbs up. It goes viral. It reaches the top of the charts, and they say, here's the movie of the day. And every day it'll be some different show, some different movie, and people are going to fork shows. They're going to be like, I want a show that's like Lost, but in the desert, not an island. And it'll go like, rendering, boom, here's episode 1. Then someone's going to watch it, and they're going to be like, that was great, give me another episode. Another person's going to watch it and be like, I don't like the main character died in the first episode. He wasn't even really the main character. They switched characters. Give me episode 2 where he comes back to life. And they're going to fork and create. Wow. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Anyway, I digress. I'm ranting on the AI stuff. Look at what the DNC is doing to Don Jr.? And what do you think is going to happen in the midterms?
Yeah, it's going to go crazy. I mean, over the next 2 to 4 years, it's going to go into hyperdrive, this stuff. And to your point, it gets crazier when they edit little pieces of stuff. Like all it takes is just like the middle of something that happened. Like not like some made up thing of Trump singing a song or, his like Gaza video yesterday where it was like Trump Gaza, everyone's like, oh, haha, AI video. They take a real press conference and you manipulate, a 30-second answer of consequence. And then you put that everywhere. And then by the time people realize that it was altered, it's too late because it looks so real. Yeah, it's a wild. Yeah.
So I don't dispute any of that stuff, but there is part of me that wonders how much impact it's going to have, considering the fact that nowadays people hear what they want to hear anyway.
That's true.
There were so many. There are tons of people that heard the Very Fine People hoax, and they still believe that Donald Trump actually supports.
Because, like Daniel Negreanu said when he came on the show, he was like, I saw the video. I know he said they were fine people. And then his buddy slid the phone over and said, watch the video. And he said, fine. And then he saw the full video and, oh, imagine if there's never again a full video. And he says, watch the full video. And Negreanu looks at it and goes, they should be condemned totally. BS. Pulls out his phone, opens up DNC.app and plays it. And Trump goes, I love Nazis. And he's like, see, that proves it.
I understand what you're saying. And I'm not saying that. I know there are people that have had their minds change. I've referenced them before, on the show before, but I do think that it's going to be case dependent, because there are going to be some people that will be willing to rethink their priors, and there's going to be people that it doesn't matter what you show them. There are going to be people that it doesn't matter if you show them that he said they're bad, and it goes both ways. It's going to be people that are pro-Trump. Someone's going to be like, look, here's this video where Trump said this bad thing, and they're going to say, don't care, doesn't matter. It's not that I'm saying that it won't happen or that it's not going to have an effect, but I think the effect is actually going to be more around the edges than actually.
I disagree. Daniel Negreanu is not an edge case. He's middle of the road. So what we're looking at is, for those that don't know, he's one of the world's best poker players. He came on the show and he talked about how for the longest time he believed Trump called Nazis fine people until his buddy played him the full video. He had seen clips before. He had seen the clips of Trump saying there are very fine people on both sides and assumed that was it. So when people say, did you watch the video? He goes, yes, I watched the video. And then they were like, no, you didn't. He's like, yes, I did. So finally his buddy slid his phone over and said, play. And he's like, fine. And then he went, whoa, wait. No, I didn't see that. Those scenarios where apolitical people, this guy's a poker pro, he doesn't do politics, they will never be able to break out of the matrix. It will never happen again. It's not a question of what people want to believe. It's a question of people will be made to believe whatever the machine tells them to believe with no way for us to break them out. Because either we show them the real video and they'll say, that's AI, you faked that. And they'll keep believing the lies. That's it.
I think the biggest moment for the breakout of that matrix is probably COVID, because while a lot of people are still kind of tethered to that hive mind mentality, that woke a lot of people up because they experienced it in real life. They felt the impact of COVID and all the lockdowns and stuff like that. Like me personally, I was like, oh, look, what this is bad. Like, I don't like all this stuff.
But so it shocked too many people, and a shock to the system is always bad for those trying to control the system. Yeah. So I've long said, like the way you break people out is you need a system shock. Slow and gradual doesn't change enough. The way they're running the control. When COVID happened, so many Democrats bought into it because every day they incremented up and they freaked them out and scared them and said hospitals are overloaded and like people are dying and the death toll is climbing, and they had the death tracker on CNN.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
People, it didn't matter that you were locked in your house because you were watching TV and you believed it. The problem for the machine state and why they lost is because of decentralized communications. Take away the ability to communicate through a decentralized means by flooding the zone with fake everything, and then you will easily win. Because what's going to happen is you get another lockdown, and then someone wants to turn on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's largely waking people up, or they want to turn on Timcast IRL, whatever it may be. And what's going to happen then is they're going to be told that's all fake. And there's going to be 15 videos of Trump doing similar things slightly different, and they'll have no idea which one's the real one. So they'll say, I'm just going to stay inside. I'm scared. Not only that, there's going to be videos of people dying in the streets, and they're going to say, is it real or not? And then the people in control are going to say, There's a video of a man vomiting up his intestines. That happened. And then they're going to be like, I don't believe it. It's fake news. I'm like, okay, the door's over there. Give it a shot. Tell me how it works out for you. And they're going to say no. For real, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's how they're going to control people. And with the AI video stuff, there's no way to break people out of that because there's no longer going to be, here's the true video. There's going to be videos indistinguishable. Already, man, there's women on OnlyFans that are completely fake.
Yeah.
Made by AI.
Yeah.
And dudes are completely clueless and paying money for that stuff. Nuts. Here we go, baby. Now, Elon Musk said the singularity is about to light up.
Well, the singularity with AI, with artificial intelligence as problem solving and stuff like that, that's going to be. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know that I have yet to see them do creative things that are really interesting, as in they've yet to discover something, right? Because LLMs use existing knowledge, they base their opinions or their ideas and stuff on existing knowledge and stuff. So when I know that they can be extremely specific, right? Like, so you can use AI to find cancers and breast cancer. Yeah. There's a lot of breakthroughs with finding breast cancers and stuff like that. And so I don't think that I think it's going to be extremely useful, and it's going to be a tool that's going to be able to revolutionize a lot of industries. But as for general AI and being able to make discoveries and stuff like that,
didn't Elon just announce that Grok solved the Putnam problem?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw they uploaded the new Grok 3. Right?
So I don't know what this means, and it could mean nothing. But Marvin Alpha says Grok 3 goes superhuman, solves unsolvable Putnam problem.
Oh, wow.
None of the top 500 Putnam competitors fully solved the brutal math problem. Grok 3 crushed it in around 8 minutes. So I do believe it was a human-made problem that was very difficult, and then it solved it. I don't know if it was, I don't know. Here we go. None of the top 500 contestants in the 2025 Putnam competition fully solved the problem. Grok 3 found the solution in around 8 minutes. So I'm not saying it's discovering anything. It's just getting to the point where it's beating out everybody else and solving problems that humans struggle with. I do think Grok or maybe just whatever, any AI. Grok is, I got to be honest, it's so much better than OpenAI. It's crazy. I used to use ChatGPT a lot. It's a really useful tool. And now it's just slow garbage. It wastes my time. It's so annoying. And Grok is just better. I do think one of the reasons Elon wanted X, of course, is because he wants the fire hose of human data for his AI. But AI is going to solve, or is going to invent and discover something very soon. I don't know if you'd call that the singularity, where it exceeds, but it really is as simple as if you plug in all of the information we have on fusion and cold fusion and fission and whatever, what's going to happen is AI is going to be looking at a Sudoku puzzle, top down, straight at it, and it's going to say, oh, you found 6 digits, the last 3 go here. And we're going to go, whoa, we didn't consider that. Because you've got 10 people over here, 10 people over here, 10 people over here working on each individual part, and only after reviewing each other's peer-reviewed data and then advancing upon it do they advance core concepts, especially with things tend to get invented by engineers. So something will get invented or a substance will be created by a chemist or an engineer, and then someone else will figure out how to apply it somewhere else. So for instance, you're talking about Palmer Luckey and the exosuit and stuff like that. The technologies for drones, for instance, existed for a very long time for quadcopters. And it wasn't until someone pieced these things together. We could have had quadcopters the moment we had electric motors.
Yeah.
The computing power isn't that, you don't like, to fly a remote control quadcopter requires very little, but it took a long time for decentralized humans to develop the functional quad drone as we have today. Imagine if we had AI, it would be like, oh, I see that you have small electric motors, lithium polymer batteries. You realize if you put them together with a microcontroller that you could make right now, you have a drone that can carry 1 kilogram. And we would have been like, whoa, why did it take us 30 years to figure that out? Then imagine what war would be like.
Yeah.
So now that these militaries are using these small to large drones in all these conflicts, imagine if 30 years ago the AI told us, here's a list of weapons you can make with your existing technology. That could happen today, and we can't even perceive the kind of weapons it could make. Yep.
I watched a video from a guy named Alex O'Connor, I think it was, talking about how ChatGPT is like a test of Hume's empiricism and like how it can only make things from things it's already seen. So he did a whole test with ChatGPT. You mentioned it got worse, Tim, recently, where they couldn't actually make a half full glass of wine. It could always do like something close to it, but it can't because there's no images online of a glass of wine full to the brim. So it says full to the brim. It says here's a glass of wine. It says in the text filled all the way to the brim with absolutely no air above this. It can't do it. Yeah, it's a video watched by Alex O'Connor. And he talks about how it can synthesize things from two different sources. And he mentions the Hume's critique on his own thing, which is like the shades of blue problem. If you know what you're talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that's something I thought about too. If it can synthesize things from two different sources and come up with something we could never perceive, we literally can't perceive it. It's so unimaginable for us. It's we will never understand. No, it literally can't do it.
Wow.
It's unable to do it. Look at this. That's crazy. I don't.
Yeah, I
so
said
the
make an
question
image
was,
of a glass of wine filled to the brim, and it didn't do it.
right, and I wasn't sure if Grok 3 could do this. or the new Grok. I haven't tried it on anything like that. I don't know
let
if
me
it
try
can.
Grok.
Find out.
It's worth trying.
Let's see.
Can it do it overflowing?
I do. Hey, you know, it is funny that Grok logo looks very similar to a logo I made a long time ago, but I'm just saying. Make an image of a glass of wine filled to the brim. Let's see what it comes up with. It's rolling.
Dum, dum.
It's nope.
Nope.
No, it's not filled to the
Interesting.
brim.
Huh.
Because the source material doesn't have that.
Could it do overflowing? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
How can it not understand that though? I guess that's an interesting problem I had not considered.
It's just because if you understand how large language models work, it's just pulling information from the information that's been put on the internet. So that's what's interesting about it is, yes, it may not be able to, this is what I thought about it. It may not be able to recreate a full to the brim wine glass. You know, people don't really do that. It's a waste of wine, they say. But the thing that it can do, which no human can like honestly perceive or will be able to imagine, is it can make a synthesis of stuff that we don't understand yet or have. Like you said, the quadcopter, we had all the existing tech, but we didn't put that all together in that particular arranger to make it happen. And that's what the real singularity change is going to be. You don't understand it. You can't perceive fourth dimensions as much as you try to understand a tesseract. Yeah. You don't get it. You cannot understand it. So I'm really excited to see what happens with these things. It is a brave new world, and I keep wearing my sunglasses because
Excited, also scary.
I'm telling it over and over again. It says, here's your glass of wine filled to the brim with surface tension holding it in. It's not. It's the same image over and over again. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.